What's good, YouTube? What's good, people? What's going on? How is everybody doing? How everybody doing out there? I guess and I pray we guys used the weekend and we prepared ourselves this previous weekend for this trading week. I'm so ready for this trading week. I'm prepared. I'm healthy. I'm well, and I'm most of all optimistic, and I'm most of all grateful for everything. It's your boy Harlem, and I'm back again with another video. So today's video gonna be an educational video. I want to teach you guys, or I want to show you guys why you should always follow your zones, follow your patterns, follow your candlesticks, and to most of all, accept the risk and to never be scared of losing in the markets because of you taking a loss. You feel me, people? So now this is Litecoin, right? I saw that for the past 2 weeks, me and my COT community, we've been working on not to say a new strategy or something like that, but we've been working on a zone that we've been trading on Litecoin, right? If you watch my outlooks, you do know what type of zone I'll be talking about, or you will understand or see the zone that I'm about to share, right? Without further ado, people, let's just hop in and let's continue to trust the process, right? So now, as you can see, this is Litecoin on the hourly, right? This is our hourly time frame on Litecoin. You can simply tell that price has been trading above support. Price has been trading above our resistance, right? And tapping into the downside above, below resistance, coming out again above resistance and breaking below of our resistance, coming out again of resistance and breaking below of resistance, breaking out again and breaking back in, and unfortunately breaking out again on our current market price, right? So now I want to share three things, right? I want to share three educational things, right? The first one, let it be the power of trading your zones, right? Your support, your resistance, your supply, your demand, whatever that you call it, whatever zone that you say it is, people, whatever zone that you say it is, whatever zone that you call it, whatever that you call it, whether it's support, your resistance, your supply, your demand, your liquidity, your order blocks, whatever that you say it is, I need you to understand, or I need you to listen up, and I need you to master one thing, right? Whether you're above your zone, you need to buy, right? When you're below your zone, you need to sell. This is just textbook forex, whether it's supply, SMC, whatever that you trade in. When you're above a certain zone, you need to be bullish. When you're below a certain zone, you need to be bearish, right? So now, if you can remember that, okay, price had a breakout of our resistance, right? Again, because it's been breaking out and breaking in, breaking out and breaking in. Looking at our current price for the past 2 weeks, like I said, right? Price broke out, came back for a retest above, right? Anticipation of what? A possible continuation to the upside, right? And price coming back again below our resistance and breaking out again, right? Having that retest above and continuing to the upside, right? And coming back again above resistance, right? So once price came back again above resistance, you can simply tell that now price is holding resistance, right? We are above resistance. Now price is holding resistance. So this entry, people, I need you guys to understand this entry, or I need you guys to focus on what I'm about to share. You can simply tell that, okay, price broke out, broke back in, broke out, broke back in, right? And came back right here. So once price impulsively pulled back to this very same zone, after this big candle close, we had this bullish engulfing candle close, right, above our resistance, right? So price closing like this above resistance, all I was looking for, because I now knew that, okay, I have my confluences. Price is trading above resistance. The second thing, price is holding resistance. The third thing, price is failing to break below resistance, and price is respecting resistance above, creating that new support, right? So when the candlestick closed bullish, all I was looking for now was that if long as was there, I'm anticipating a continuation to the upside, because I now knew that, okay, prices trading above resistance, prices holding resistance, and prices respecting resistance, and we look and we see some sort of momentum to the upside above our resistance. So this trade, when I executed this trade, you can simply tell that, okay, price did what closed bearish and started having multiple rejections to the upside, started having multiple rejections on our support, on our resistance, creating that new support, right? And price doing what? And price had that momentum, anticipation of a continuation to the upside, but price did what? Pulled back again to hold our resistance. So once price started holding resistance, all I was telling myself now is that, okay, if price is now holding resistance, it's kind of doing what? It's kind of creating that new support above resistance, right? So with now me seeing this, so with now me having this anticipation, all I was now looking for was for now price to do what? To create the support and give me some sort of momentum, anticipate a continuation to the upside, right? But if you can see this entry, I did lose this trade after a whole 2 weeks. A whole 2 weeks of this entry, unfortunately, I lost it, right? Price took me out. So now I accepted this loss. I was like, okay, unfortunately, price did what? Unfortunately, price moved sideways, and price did what? Violated my zone. When price violated my stop loss, and price took me out. That's it. But now the tricky part is price was still trading above support when price took me out with a stop loss, right? So you can simply see that, okay, we had this momentum moving to the downside, and we had a bullish candle close to the upside. And you can see that price started having this depletion. And once I saw this depletion, right, you can simply tell that this candlestick that I executed my entry on, the candlestick that I took my entry on, people, the candlestick that I took my entry on, this candlestick was bearish when it opened, and it reversed and turned bullish. So the minute this candlestick turned bullish, trading above this intraday high, all I was looking for was for continuation to the upside. But the tricky part is price didn't close above. You understand me? Like, let me also break this down. You need to be patient with your entries. You don't need to let FOMO tackle you, or you don't need to let FOMO fuck you up as a trader, right? I had to wait for a candle close because I knew that, okay, I'm still above support, I'm still above resistance, and I'm creating this new support, right? Why won't I wait for price to close above this intraday highs and anticipate what? In anticipation of that continuation to the upside, right? So because I didn't wait for what? Because I didn't wait for my entry, I didn't wait for my candle close. I was so impatient, and I was like just hasty to just execute a trade, because I believed that, you know what, this will be a winning entry. This will be a winning entry, because I knew that, okay, we're still above our support, and we're having that momentum, anticipation of a continuation to the upside, right? Until price did what? Until price took me out again, right? So with price taking me out, now you can see that, okay, we're still above support. I was above support once, price took me out. Price was still above support the second time, and price took me out, right? So when you can see, when price took me out the second time, you can simply see the bear engulfing candlestick moving to the downside, breaking below our what? Breaking below our support, right? Breaking below our resistance, right? So when you see now price breaking below our resistance now, so now it's time I share a pattern entry, or how I trade my patterns, right? You can simply tell, okay, price now did what? Moved to the downside, creating this lower low, creating this lower high, creating this lower low, creating this lower high, creating this lower low, creating this lower high, right? And coming back to create this lower high, this lower low, this low, not lower than this previous lower low, right? So if you can simply see that, okay, price has created this lower low, right? We're waiting for what? For this breakout in anticipation of a new lower low, because now we're trading below our support, our resistance, right? So if you can see that now, okay, price has kind of like created this wedge pattern, because you can see that with this impulsive move to the downside, price is now trading inside this zone, right? So now, if you look at this properly, price created this lower low, and price created this lower high, right? And price came back to our lower low to spike our lower low. When price spiked our lower low with a big candle open and a bullish candle close, with which is a pin bar or a hammer or a possible reversal candlestick, all I looked for, because now I knew that, okay, price is creating this potential rising wedge, this potential falling wedge, right? And prices created this lower low, and price created this lower high, and price came back to our very same lower low to spike the very same lower low, failing to break below or failing to close below our lower low. So with that being said, all I looked for, or all I was looking for, it was that if I can get a break out of my rising wedge, if I can get a break of this wedge pattern, this whole wedge pattern, right? If I can get a break out, and if I can get price trading below, or if I can get a breakout one, right? If I get a breakout one of my falling wedge, and if I can get price closing above the previous lower high, that will give me signs that obviously with price creating a rising wedge and price creating a lower high and price failing to close below the previous lower low in anticipation of with a pin bar and a hammer candlestick possible reversal, all we look for is that if we trade above our previous lower high, that will give us signs into saying, okay, we had a falling wedge pattern, and we have price violating, and we have price failing to break our lower low, right? We have price failing to break our lower low. Two, we have price breaking out of our falling wedge, right? Three, we have price trading above our previous lower high. And four, we have a bullish candlestick close above our lower high. That is just simple, people. You don't need many confluences into why you have to take an entry. You just need one, two, or three. But it depends on you, or it depends on what kind of a trader are you, right? On my side, I only need three confluences. It's either I get my zone, I get my pattern, and I get my candlestick. I go for the short. Some people might wait for what? A candlestick only. Some people might wait for a pattern only. Other traders can wait for what? A zone to be formed before they can execute a trade. And that's it. So now, if you can see how I broke down this trade, we have a falling wedge, we have surprise. Okay, we have a falling wedge, we have price creating support, we have price failing to break below support, we have price violating our lower high, right? Our previous lower high or our previous high, and we have what? This bullish candlestick closing above our lower high. That gives us signs into saying, okay, if price now created a lower low, if price created a falling wedge, if price creates a falling wedge, price creates support, price closes above, okay, price creates a falling wedge, right? Price fails to break below our support. Price breaks out of our falling wedge. Price closes above previous high of our falling wedge, and price gives us a momentum candlestick above our zones that we need to execute from. And that's just it, people. So if you can see that I lost 2 trades and I won 1 trade so far, right? So now, when you now see the last 2, right? When you look at the last 2, right, you can simply tell that, okay, with price moving to the upside, we broke above our support now. We broke above our resistance again. And we have what? That momentum movement to the upside. And we have price coming back off of our support, right? So with this push phase and this exhaustion phase, long as we're still trading above support, I still anticipate what? A move to the upside, right? So when you now look at my entry now, you can simply see that, okay, push and an exhaustion with a bullish close above our support, people. A push phase above our zone and an exhaustion phase which fails to break below and still closes above our zone with a bullish candlestick above our zone, with a bullish candlestick close above our zone. All we need to look for is for continuation to the upside, because we now know that we're above our zone, we're having momentum above our zone, and we're having a confirmation candle into why we need to take an entry above our zone, right? Sorry. When you now see that, okay, this candlestick closed bullish, We'll take an entry above the candlestick with our stop right there, with our targets being right here, right? And unfortunately, price did what? Unfortunately, price took me out. Right. So with price now taking me out, I now know that, okay, price is now doing what? Price is now holding support. Price is now holding resistance, but still violating resistance. Right. That now that's when the psychology plays part. There's now the psychology plays a role in traders. I took an entry once above support and I lost, above resistance and I lost. I took an entry again above resistance and I lost. I took an entry below resistance and I won. I took an entry again above support, above resistance, and I lost. Now we have our last entry, which was when on Friday, on Thursday, when I was analyzing this with my community, right? So let's see that, okay, price took us out, right? Price trades below our resistance. So price trading below our resistance, we look for what? Continuations to the downside until price did what now? Closed above our resistance, right? Until price had this move to the upside. So when you see that this push and exhaustion and this push phase, right? When you now see this candlestick one and the second candlestick and the third candlesticks, these are my three confirmation candlesticks into saying, okay, price broke out, price broke below off of our resistance, right? And price kind of like broke out of our resistance, coming back below resistance and coming out again off of our resistance with a bear open in a bullish candle close, and the coming candle doing what? Closing bullish above our support, right? With now this candles two, this first candle and the second candlestick, the third candlestick is always my entry, people. The third candlestick is always my entry, right? So when you now went for the third candlestick, you can simply see that, okay, we are still having the same anticipation like the previous entry, right? Price had what? Price is trading above resistance. Price is holding resistance. We're seeing some sort of momentum above resistance, and we anticipate that continuation to the upside. Because now you can see that this entry didn't even reach our targets, right? But this entry was closed on Friday. Friday, that's when we did close this entry. Somewhere right here on Friday, not right there, somewhere right here. That's when we took profit right there on Friday, somewhere right here, because we saw that price is doing what? Price is failing to do what? Price is failing to continue further to the upside above this very same highs that we created, and that was it. So people, I need you guys to understand three things or four things. One, you need to respect your zones, and you need to never doubt your zones. Price will take you out if price takes you out. Price will put you on a stop loss if you have to be on a stop loss, because price always does what it wants to do. We don't control the markets. The only thing we can control is our risk and our emotions, right? The second thing is, when you see an entry on a certain zone that you always trade on, don't be scared or don't doubt taking an entry because you lost the first time, right? Always trade your plans and plan your trades, right? The third thing is, when you see candlesticks that align with your trading plan, don't be scared to execute an entry because you lost once or twice or three times, right? You can, I repeat, you can, and it does happen that you can lose two trades at a row. You can lose two trades in a row and win the third one. You can win two trades in a row and lose the third one. You can win one trade in the first time, lose the second, and win the third. You can lose the first one, win the second one, and lose the third one. What's important is that you're following your plans, you're managing your risk, and you most of all stay patient and disciplined in every execution that you about to execute or that you're willing to execute, right, people? So I just wanted to share this, and I feel like some people need to understand this. You will lose a lot of times. You will lose a lot of times in the markets. All that is important is that you need to manage your risk, and you need to you need to take control of your emotions, and that will put you level-headed with professional traders in the forex markets. Without further ado, people, this is your boy Harlem. That's all I got in this video.